So this is the drive shaft now, and the final drive after being painted. So come up really well. So these are the 3 down nuts after housing. So we can't put these back on in this state. So whoops. So we do a job on them, and then we loosely put them back on, ready for reassembly. So this is the swinging arm assembly that we ultimately decided to leave it in place, because like it seems to be a problem with most motorcycles that have that swinging arm suspension, that the through bolt seizes up and is quite difficult to get out, and to get it out without doing much damage to it either. So we decided to leave it in place and mask it off. So Eric done a job on it there during the week, rubbed it down and sprayed it all up, and it looks really well. So it does the job that we wanted to do. So we're going to have a look at the bolt now. So there's the whole swinging arm assembly, and then if we go in tight there, so there's the, so this is the hex head of the bolt that goes through, that holds the swinging arm. But you can see there it's hollow, so the bolt's hollow. And when we go around the far side, there's the nut that goes onto the bolt the far side. So it's only a big long hollow bolt that goes through, and that fella goes on the far end. But the fact that it's hollow means that what you can do is, if you really want to, if you're really determined to get it out, is that you can put this threaded bar through and put a big socket this side, and then put a nut on here and a washer at the far side, and draw the bolt back through. So that way you're applying force to the bolt, but you're not applying too much violence, so you're not really going to damage the bolt, and it's a way to get it out. But the best advice out there seems to be that unless you absolutely have to, just leave it alone. So we didn't absolutely have to, so we just decided to leave it in place. That's fine. Right, trying to get moving on the engine. We'll get a hook back up. Let's get it off the bench onto the ground. Right, after much messing about, we have this stand here now for the motorcycle engine. So it's a steel trolley, and then just a moving board. We just drill the hole down through the centre, and we can swivel the engine like that, and there's a bolt just going through, and just held underneath. So the plan is now get a couple of these babies and get the engine onto this board now. Right, after an awful lot of messing about, it was too awkward to film. Right, we have the brackets on, and you can see we can adjust them here, and we have to mount them here, 4 holes. And once we get that, then we'll be able to swivel the engine around 360 once she's bolted up. So that's the front part. And once we get her tacked on, we'll be able to disconnect her from the hoist and then move it out to the far side of our enormous workshops. That bench is going to be gone, and we'll have all that space there to work on both sides of it. So there's Eric manufacturing the bolts. 55, 60-ish mils. So there's the back of the engine. We'll be finally able to get rid of the straps and the lifting gear and start working the engine. Right, so we're free of the hoist at last. Now, gonna have to stop filming here because we have to get it up that step. Right, but it's not too bad, is it?
It's grand.
If we keep it that way,
And there's
it should be maximum stability.
access all areas.
It's lovely. It's grand. So you can see what we done there. Nuts and bolts there. The brackets going through the engine mounting point there. The same at the back. But we got to get it up this step here. We'll resume when we mullick it up that.
On the silly way.
Well, that was sort of much easier than we thought it would have been. So we're up over the bump and it's into the new work area. That bench will be gone or off to one side. So we plan to try paint the floor and do a few other little things, make the place a bit more presentable and a bit more comfortable to walk in. Eric very generously gave me this working bench. It has a, what do they call it? When something's worn to fuck. Patina, yeah, that's it. Excellent patina, and just took a hammer to it. Yeah, so that's where we're at the minute. We've got to stop and go off and look at the washing machine. Now, Buddy has 0 blips left to give. He's not even slightly impressed with our new engine mount. He's just having a little snooze for himself. He said, I'm not going back down that garage. So we're starting to get signs of growth in the garden again. What's this now? February the 20th or something. Anyway, making slow progress. We got a bit around there because at some stage then we want to tackle the forks. So the front forks and the handlebars and all that carry on has to come off. So that'll be at some stage, but I think our next move now is to make a start in the engine. So I'm delighted with the way this thing turned out. Just tidied that up a bit. Give her a spin there, Eric, just to show. Well, that's smooth action. So we're ready now to start poking around with the engine. Good stuff. sweeten the walls.
Now we're going to put a bit of paint on the floor, keep the dust down, tidy it up a little bit. That's where the engine was.
The rats are complaining.
And we'll do something. We're just going to try tidy the garage a little bit.
Make it look a bit nicer for the video.
Yeah, Matt's not impressed.
Okay, end of session 7. And in furtherance to trying to tidy up the garage. So we done the floor, done the bike ramp, done the lower part of the wall which was rough and needs a second coat. Don't know why the floor is going to dry out. It's in a bit of a ropey condition, but there's a coat on it now. And same thing over here. And our grinder, which is in pretty poor condition, rust wise, gave it a rub down and painted it with blue black round seal. That's supposed to be black, it says black on the tin, but it looks blue to me, but we'll have to see what way it dries out. There's that. And just done as much as we could here. So it means then the next evening, when we finish the session the next evening, we can shove all the stuff here, engine stand and all that. We can shove all this stuff over to this area here and then paint this part of the floor here. So we're very cramped for space, you can see, but you know, we're making bits and pieces of room. We're getting rid of whatever we can get rid of, and gradually getting there. A lot of hours goes into this. So our parts bays and all that are getting a bit more organised. Doesn't look it, but they are slightly more organised. And we'll be ready now to start putting stuff back on the bike. So the rear brakes, we've got new brake pads. The rear wheel, we should have really painted the rear wheel today, but we forgot all about it. So for the next session it's going to be forced on, get it rubbed down, get it painted, and that can go back on the bike. Rear brakes, brake calipers, new brake pads, bleed out the braking system, got a new flexi rear hose going to the back brakes, and can start reinstating the wiring loom and harness and battery tray and all that sort of stuff in there. So that's planned for the next session.